I think this is what this is asking for. I'm not 100%, but let's go. So, like radio buttons, form data for selected checkboxes are name, stroke, value, attribute pairs. So, name equals personality. ID equals lazy, ID equals loving, ID equals energetic, and name equals personality. And now we want to put a value in. Add a value attribute to each checkbox. So each checkbox, that's one checkbox, two checkboxes, three checkboxes. So one checkbox, two checkbox, three checkbox. So we're going to add a value attribute to each checkbox. For the convenience, set each checkbox value attribute to the same value as the ID attribute. So I think value equals, I think that's how you do this, I'm not sure, 11, which is the ID. And then we'll put another one in there. Value equals lazy. And value. Excuse the French. Yeah, we're going to replace now. Right, so value equals energetic. Make sure you spell that right. And then we'll check to see if that's right. If it's not right, I don't know. Hey, yabba dabba doo. That is right. In order to make a checkbox, so loving, lazy, energetic. So energetic. So, in order to make the checkbox checked or radio button selected by default, you need to add the checked attribute to it. There's no need to set a value to the checked attribute. Instead, just add the word checked to the input element. Make sure there's a space between the other attributes. Make the first radio button and the first checkbox selected by default. Wait, what? In order to make the checkbox checked or radio button selected by default, you need to add a checked attribute. Checked attribute to the input. Right, now I'm stuck. I don't know how to do that. In order to make a checkbox checked or radio button selected by default, you need to add the check attribute to. So there's no need to set a value to the checked attribute. Instead, just add the word checked to the input element, making sure there's space between the other attributes. So input checked. I think that's what they're wanting anyway. Oh, wait a minute, that's the thing about shine sugar. No, wait a minute, hold on. In order to make a checkbox checked or radio button selected by default, you need to add the checked attribute. There's no need to set a value to the checked attribute. Instead, just add the word checked to the input element, making sure there's a space between the other attributes. Make sure the first radio button and the first checkbox selected by default. So, input